So we're into vector calculus now, and this is just a refresher on parametric equations. So I'm just doing the first example just so we can move through the text pretty quick. So the example question here is the orbit of a satellite is defined by the parametric equations x of t equals t minus 2, y of t equals 12 over t plus 1, where t is greater than or equal to 0. So we're looking at these particular values here. So straight off the bat, let me get the pen up. If x is 0, we've got, if t equals 0, then 0 minus 2 gives us negative 2. Okay, if the next number, if t equals 1, 1 minus 2 gives us negative 1. The next one, 2 minus 2, if t equals 2, 2 minus 2 gives us 0. And then the next one here, 3 minus 2 gives us 1. So we've got these three values. We're now looking at the y value here, which is a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to zoom in a touch just to write a bit smaller. So this one is 12 over 0 plus 1 equals 12. Our next one is going to be 12 over t equals 1. So we're going to have 1 plus 1, which means 12 over 2, which is 6. This next one is going to be 12 over 2 plus 1, which is 12 over 3, which gives us 4. And the next one is going to be 12 over 4, which is 3 plus 1, which is going to give us 3. So now we've got these coordinates here. We can put these values in and we get our y coordinate for the first one at x equals negative 2, y equals 12. So we've got this value here, and now I need to be a little bit more pedantic. This is going to be t equals 0, and I've got to put these times in. Then our next one, t equals 1, we had negative 1 and 6. So negative 1 and 6 is this coordinate here, which is t equals 1. Okay, and then the next one here, we're looking at 2. X equals 0 and 4, so we've got this point here, which is t equals 2. And the next one is t equals 3. We get 1 and 3, which is that value there, which is t equals 3. And so you'll notice here that in this time, we've got a little bit of a curve, and this function sort of goes like that. We can sketch it. Now, the other option we've got is we can go to our graphics calculator, go into the graphing mode, we go type, we change it to parametric equations, which gives us xt and yt, and then we can put in t minus 2 in xt1, and then in yt1 we put in 12 over t minus 1, t plus 1, sorry. And that's our graph for that first one. Now I'm just gonna, now when I draw it, it doesn't quite work. So I must have something wrong in my settings. So I'm just gonna go view window, and my t min is 0, my t max is 6, which should be fine because I only need 0 and 3. So I need to change my view window now to be negative 2 to positive 2 for x. And then I'm going to change my y from 0 up to 12. And this should mean I fix my drawing. And now if I go trace, I start at t0. It gives me t equals 0. It's not giving me the coordinates. It's giving me... why is it not giving me the coordinates? It's giving me the drawing, and the drawing is correct, and it's to scale, but the trace is not giving me my x values. So it's giving me at time, but it's giving me derivatives. Let me just turn my derivatives off. And then if I trace, now if I trace, I get the correct values. I get my x and y coordinates. So I can trace that out. So just remember that is in the graphics calculator. So I'm just going to write some quick notes at the bottom. Graphics calculator, graph, and then in the graphing mode, you're going to go type, which is F3, and then you set up your parametric one with this button here, which is F3 again. All right, and that'll sort it all out for you. So there's our first one all done. So just a refresher from vectors.